Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of You've Already Peaked Gaming Podcast featuring your host, me, the LobsterDust. Also featuring you, Locarthemanbeast. Are you on this side or this side when we're actually...
Right?
If I look this way?
I don't know how many podcasts we've done. I think it's right. I'm on the right.
No, but I always...
Oh.
You're on the right?
I'm on my right.
This way?
You have to, yeah, and I have to look this way.
Okay, ready? 1, 2... Oh, yeah. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay. Discord
flips it. It's weird. Yeah.
Here nor there. Put your crotch on this side. Welcome.
What up? Happy
Monday, motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah, man. What a week. What a week. We made it to Friday. How you feeling? You said you were a little under the weather. What's going on?
Oh, no. I shit that all out.
Oh, okay. Bro.
I felt terrible all day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I don't know, like if I like ate something. Okay. For whoever needs to hear this, just eat the pasta. Just eat the pasta. I tried cauliflower pasta.
Oh,
you know, because it's supposed to be like higher in
fiber,
higher protein, higher fiber, less carbs.
Sure.
I was like, I'll give it a shot. Oh.
Yeah,
it's like the taste of it. You cannot shake the taste. No sauce covers it. It's like just like
it tastes like cauliflower.
Worse, because I've had cauliflower that I like. It's like if you just like take your tongue and you grab cauliflower straight from like the grocery store.
Yeah.
After it's been like the rain on it, and you just lick the top of it.
Yeah.
Like leaves, sediment, everything. Like there's no getting rid of that taste. And I'm not entirely convinced that it was that made me feel like shit. But I don't have any science to disprove it.
Well, here's the thing I've noticed a lot with, especially with the cauliflower pastas or like broccoli,
or like cauliflower rice.
Yeah, just weird shit. Is that they have to use other things to bond it together.
To bind it,
yeah.
Right?
So like a lot of the time, I mean, you still have to do it with pastas and stuff like that, but they like overshoot like on eggs and things like that. So like maybe it was a little salmonella.
I don't know. There's it. And I didn't feel like overly sick. I was just like the entire day. I was like, what the fuck is going on with me? Just uncomfortable.
Yeah, just nauseous.
And then this morning, sweet release.
Yeah.
You know, the emotions of Steven Tyler singing his songs in his heyday. Just, I felt the pain leave my body. Just, so not quite like the Mago shit, but it was just like, be the opposite of you shall not pass. Gandalf was at my asshole. You shall pass. And just the Balrog came out of me, and I feel a million times better,
dude. There's something. So like coming home today. So like I text you. I was like, hey man, I'm on my way home. I was leaving Davis. We got done with some meetings and stuff, and I was like, I gotta take a shit. Like it's just it is an instant thing. We had lunch with one of the properties and stuff like that, and we got this stuff. It's like this place called Shaw's out in Sacramento. They have a food truck in Davis, and it's like gyro food, you know, stuff like that. And but every time I fucking eat it, it goes from my lips to my asshole instantly. I don't know what it is. It's like their sauce is made with laxatives. So like I put it in my mouth, and like I was already kind of like a little bit for the day. Didn't really go this morning or whatever. So I was just out and about. I was like, no big deal. Had the lunch and then was like wrapping up, talking to it. I was like, I think I might shit my pants. Like, I think I might instantly shit my pants. So I was like, I gotta go. Sat in a little bit of traffic, jammed home, got in through the door. And it's like, you know how your body does that thing where it's like, okay, you're home. And it's like, bro, you made it the whole way. Just chill. We are running, sprinting to the bathroom.
Nope. Yep.
And I was there. I was there for a minute, and I was just evacuating. And then it just kept going and going and going. And that's how you know it went from my lips to my asshole, is because there was no digestion process. It was like one of those fresh presses for fucking coffee. You know, it just squished everything straight down, and I could just feel it all leaving. And I was just there, and I was like, when will this stop? Nope, didn't. Just kept going. And it wasn't like I'm not the type of person that sits in the bathroom for a long period of time. I don't scroll my phone and dick around and stuff like that. I just couldn't leave. I was just there going. I mean, I feel better. Like clean. You know what I mean?
See, I'm not the person that sits on their phone and scrolls, but I am the person that recognizes like you're gonna be here a while.
Yeah.
Like there's sometimes you sit down. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I always keep my like nice loafers like in the bathroom. So I was like, oh, it's gonna be a minute. Kick them off.
Yes. A fucking half velvet robe. Bottle of bourbon and a nice like glass right there.
Smoking pipe.
Paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh Christ. But yeah, now I feel good. I feel good. Feel good.
If you're watching this first thing Monday morning, do yourself a favor. Get that good shit out.
I swear to God.
Start your day right.
And if you haven't yet, because we've been putting these out about 10 a.m. or so, like remind yourself, like you've already got through your traffic, you're at your job, you probably had your cup of coffee, sit down and take a shit because you're going to get paid for it. So might as well go blast, get it done. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Yeah.
Why not? They did some statistical thing. If you take a 10-minute shit once a day on the clock throughout the year, you like get paid some absorbent amount of money for just pooping on the clock. It's like, I think that's a good way to.
I try not to shit at work. It's impossible. I have to. But man, my work has the worst toilet paper. I literally try to plan my day. Like I try to drink enough coffee to just shove everything out of me before I go to work. And then I try my best. Like there's always at least like once a day. But man, if I eat something bad like the day before, it's like sandpaper. Like I'll try my hardest to hold it.
Which is wild because at a hospital, I have to imagine there's wet wipes, or just pack some wet wipes with you.
There's something about like I have to like the closest bathroom to me is like in a lobby where people check in.
Sure.
So I'm walking in with like a goodie bag, like, oh hey,
why not?
My third time to a little like rolled up bag,
or just like a little purse.
And they think that in that bag is a half velvet robe, my loafers. And they're like, man, this guy's setting up shop. Like, no, it's really just for the health of my asshole. But a newspaper under my arm. Fuck it.
Jim, how are you today?
Yeah, and I guarantee there's some dudes like that. I'm sure at the hospital, some old guys ready for retirement. I still got a little bit of that pride, I guess, that keeps me from just walking, like almost announcing to the room, like, I'll see y'all in about 10, 15 minutes.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I was, you'd have to do the Ace Ventura thing where you come out and just like, do not go in there. You know what I mean? Like, But I mean, I've gotten to the point also too, where it's like, I'm an adult. If I gotta poop, I gotta poop. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take care of it. I mean, and I've shit in some gross fucking places in my life.
Oh yeah.
You know, especially like we turn units, and like when you're working units, you got like a nasty fucking unit. I'm like, I almost would rather like take a bag and shit in a bag than shit in the toilet that's at this fucking apartment. But it's also like, you got to do what you got to do. Just don't let your fucking dick or balls touch anything in that seat. You know what I mean? It's like, you just gotta hover a little bit and just blast. Shit happens, man.
Just sprint off the comments. Where are you going? I'm going to find a porta potty. Anything that's on a street.
Yeah. I've left properties to go find toilets. Like, oh, this toilet's disgusting. Like, oh, there's a 7-Eleven around the corner. I'm gonna go there.
I'm gonna go to the 7-Eleven bathroom.
When you know when the 7-Eleven is cleaner than the unit that you're in, you know something's wrong with that place.
Woof.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, that was our daily dose of shit.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
You have to sign up for a PlayStation account now to play Helldivers.
I have a PlayStation account.
I don't understand what that was.
I personally don't.
I don't get that. I don't understand the rabble. And like, not the rabble between me and Cliff, because I think me and him were both arguing the same point. I think we were just on a different level. But I mean, people actually going in and being upset or like making.
Yeah. So the first thing that I saw was, Pirate Software, the content creator. Yeah. His dad is like was like the WoW guy.
Yeah, he's
on
Blizzard.
South Park.
Yeah.
So he was the first thing, like, and I see his stuff every now and then.
Yeah.
And like I just saw like something on him, and he's like, "This is disgusting. I'm not doing it. You shouldn't do it. I've demanded a refund. I've changed my review. I blah blah blah." And I was like,
"What
the fuck?" And like, I thought like there was something I was missing, And then
he's usually a pretty cool-headed dude, so
but he's real worked up about this, and hours go by, and then that was probably like 7, 8 a.m. something like that. Yeah. About noon, I'm just seeing like all over Twitter, all over TikTok, everybody's like, fuck these people, fuck what they're doing, fuck, and like they're like losing their mind. And then like I saw like a Steam review that was like all the times that Sony's account information has been breached by hackers.
Oh,
and I've seen
all right,
people like in the Philippines, I guess, are like content locked out of it because there's no PSN in the Philippines.
Okay.
Like I'm seeing all sorts of different things. I just don't necessarily see why it's so terrible, I guess, because in my head, same thing. Almost every Ubisoft game, if not every Ubisoft game that I've played via Steam, you still have to
connect,
do their launcher. Yeah. The 80s game that we were playing, we just went over the Avalanche account. I guess people don't have like burner emails that they don't give a shit about.
Well, okay, so
I don't know.
One of the big ones is like Philippines doesn't have access to Sony or stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that.
And that feels fucking bad. You've already given them money and potentially given them lots of money because you were able to buy super credits and things like that. So there is a point where if you're now no longer able to play their game because it's been completely locked out, that's a giant negative.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I understand that. I also understand the fact that it's like, account information that has been hacked multiple times. Like, what was it? Was it 07 or 08 was a big fucking Sony debacle?
07.
Yeah.
It was like 07, I think, was the first one that they cited. And then it was like 2010, 2011, 2014,
2010,
2016, 2018. Like, it was big. All they did was list all the
things.
And
I guess I can completely understand that aspect of it, but
Keep going.
Oh, the thing on your screen?
The fucking thing on my screen.
I don't know why it just started. Yeah, Discord just started doing this thing. You'll see it right there.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. But like also at the same time, like I have had a PlayStation account forever, and it has also been linked to Steam forever. Because originally when you started the Orange Box way back in the day, you had to link your PlayStation in your Steam account, and you didn't have a Steam account. Today, because this is my second or third Steam account. My main account is like my second or third one. My login is PSN_. That's how my login looks. Like I don't have an email address I put in. It's PSN_ and then whatever my username is. So, and like I even reached out to Steam at one point. It was like, can I change this because I no longer, it's not from a PSN account. It's just, and they're like, no, there's nothing you can do because it's an account based thing. It's just how it is set up. You can change your name or anything. Like people always see you as Locarthemanbeast, but like that PSN_ is going to always be your login for this account. So again, it's just a weird thing for me to bitch about because it doesn't really matter. I don't care. Like if it affects you negatively, totally agree. And if you're against things like Sony and their whole thing, then why the fuck are you buying their game?
Yeah, I brought it up because it's something to talk about. But do I fully understand it? Kind of not.
I just, the fact is like, oh, these information.
I understand why, like 5-10% of probably the player base like has a true right to just be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
and the fact that they're doing it 3 months after release.
Yeah, I think Aaron said that too. I also don't remember them specifying it at the very beginning. If they had specified it at the very beginning, been like, look, we can't get this thing linked up, but it will happen in the future. Just be aware of that. And then you still went down that, then that's on you. But I don't actually remember them saying any of that originally. And if that's the case, then it can be misleading, especially for people that are like, we can't get PSN accounts in our country.
Yeah.
Why would I have spent the money or multiple dollars worth of the money? It also makes me wonder why now. Is it something that Sony is like pushing on, PlayStation is pushing on, like, hey, like,
yeah,
you know, what's happening? Is there piracy happening? Is there hacks happening? Are there things that are going on with the game that we're not seeing?
Just to bump their numbers before a quarterly review, you know?
Oh, that's another
like,
good
could
point.
That be it?
Yeah, that's another
like,
big one. That's another big one. We've got, look how many new people we got to sign up.
Was it Overwatch last year or 2 years ago before Overwatch 2? They were like, oh, sign up now, blah, blah, blah. And it like gives them that extra boosted numbers before you close out the year.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Like shit like that makes you think.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case. That would make way more sense because I wonder how many new PlayStation accounts are being signed up for. So if they have to force people to do it, then it's another thing that they can see new numbers on. I get it. But you are right. Make a burner fucking email account.
Yeah.
Don't put any of your actual information in. If it's a game that you love and you still want to support and do all these things, then just make a fake account. It doesn't matter.
It's hard to believe that anybody that plays PC gaming doesn't have one burner account that has a password that's wildly different than anything that you normally use. Like I kind of feel like that's just
standard.
That's just standard, like living.
I have a notepad file that has extra passwords in it that I've used for multiple different accounts. And I just copy and paste, and they're just weird strings of numbers and letters.
You don't have that email address that you signed up for 25% off, even though you've shopped that same website 18 times. You don't have that.
Well, not only that, I also like my first and last name on there. Like normally when I sign up accounts, I know you seen that. It's getting brighter in there. God, is that you?
I'm not seeing anything. I just keep smelling old woman.
Oh, maybe your apartment is haunted. You said
it's like, you know, that baby powder, almost like
old woman smell.
Yeah. It's just that. And like, I just keep getting whiffs of it. I like really strong. Like I'm like maybe it's haunted. I don't know.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. If you are haunted.
Yeah, it's not me.
I mean, if the apartment is haunted, right? Then yeah, I mean, nothing malicious has happened so far.
Yeah.
If anything, when we get done here, just put on Murder, She Wrote or something on the fucking TV and just let her hang out.
Yeah.
Touched by an Angel.
Shut the fuck up, Maud.
Or maybe it's coming through the vents.
Maybe, but like, it's just weird that like just today.
Oh, it's just today?
Just today, yeah.
Oh. Maybe you got someone living in.
Maybe she's moving in.
Maybe she's moving in. Yeah. Oh God. I don't know if I could do that. My grandmother used to wear old lady perfume. Something I don't know if she used to say that she used it because it was something my grandfather liked. Okay, totally fine. But like she would go,
you sure about that?
Yeah, she would go, and it was like what, the whole fucking house. I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? It's the smell I smell when you go to Sunday service.
Yeah. I don't actually think that it's a perfume though. I think it's just their essence because they already smell like that. Yeah. But I think when they spray it, it's just more of like a sign of dominance. It's like a cat marking its territory.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because I swear, like whether they wear it or not, all old women smell like that.
It's a universal smell. It's a weird thing that's a universal smell.
Yeah. It's like, it's just so distinct too. You know, there's no mistaking.
Yeah. You can tell anyone, like, you know, that old lady smell, and everybody's like, yeah, I know exactly what you can't put your finger on the exact fragrance, but everyone knows what that smell is.
It's like horse smell, right? It's like strip clubs and Victoria's Secrets all smell the same, right? It's just like an overabundance of like vanilla and sugar cookie.
Yeah.
It's like that. They don't not smell like that. It's just the essence of them makes it greater. God, they always will smell like that.
I think that's why I hate the smell of vanilla.
Strip clubs?
Yeah. It was
that's why I love it.
Really? Oh.
Home. And that's why I'm not allowed in Victoria's Secret anymore. Just buried into a mannequin.
Yeah. Did you spritz this morning? This is how we weed out the creeps.
Handful of dollar bills on their fucking. Oh man.
I'm glad I've grown.
I'm glad I haven't.
Yeah.
Although, fuck, dude. Strip clubs, when we were like in our glory days, awesome, right? I think we're officially that age that we're the creepy ones.
Yeah.
I start going, man, I used to just hang out.
Yeah.
Like not even like go in. Like, I'm not even there to like, yeah, you're there to see tits, but like you're just hanging. It's not like you're like obviously when you're drunk, you're throwing fucking stacks of ones. You're just, but I mean, like, there's times that like we just like, do you want to get lunch? Yeah. A teriyaki bowl at Centerfolds. All right. You just go there. You're friends with them. You're like sitting, and they're like, all right, I gotta go up. You're like, hey, good luck, girl. And they just go and do their thing.
That was deja vu.
Such a weird difference.
Deja vu. We used to just go to hang out with our friends, and like I remember like multiple times, like our friends would be dancing on stage, still having the same conversation they were having sitting next to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like butthole in the face, and you're just like, so anyway, about your brother. It's like, oh yeah, it's really weird. He wrecked his car last week. It's like, oh, is he all right? You know, it's just like, it was a whole phenomenon, but it's like, I don't know. I think it was okay because we were like 18 to like 21. Like maybe even a little after that. It's like kind of that range.
I think once you hit 30, like you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No.
Unless you're like a sugar daddy, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
And even then, you got a stigma walking with you. I'm just saying, now if I walked in,
yeah,
I know I don't have it, but I feel like they would see 4 thick hairs just swept over my head. You know?
How much for the back room, babe?
Yeah, shit like that. Like no matter what my intentions are either. Like I could just go in like, man, I used to have fun here. And they just be like, oh shit, the fucking creep's back. They're all talking about you like in the back room.
That's also one of those things too, where it's like, I don't know if, I think we've talked about this before. It's like a strip club is not the place that I would go for either food or really to spend money anymore. It's just it's a waste. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know? Plus, it's like it's like being in a fucking casino. If you go in the midday and you got money to spend, you're leaving at like middle of the night, or you start at the middle of the night and they're like, hey, we're wrapping up. It's like, 5 a.m. How the fuck long have I been here? Yeah. Not worth it. Not worth it. I'm also too fucking tired. I don't have that energy. You guys want to go to the strip club? Hell no, I don't want to go to the strip club.
No. There's a small part of me, and it's always like when I drive past, ironically going to my mom's. Yeah. But like I'm going down 50 and you just see it, and you just think of all like the fucking wild times you had. And there's a small part that's like, go see what it's like. I know it's not for me anymore though.
It's driving
one of those things you leave in the past.
Yeah.
It is the Jamba Juice fucking GameStop parking lot. You just don't hang out there anymore.
You just don't do it. It's like someone like reminiscing and bringing up nostalgia and be like, we should go to a hookah bar. No, we should not.
Exactly. Yes.
What are you talking about? Absolutely not. No, there's no fucking way in hell I'm going to a hookah bar. Fuck you, man. That's not happening. But then I think
35.
Yeah, exactly. But then you think about it. Like, I've got enough chest hair now that I could probably fit in with all the fucking people that are there at the hookah bar. But
they own the hookah bar.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Remember the spot off of what was it? Sunrise? It was Sunrise. The hookah bar out there, they used to give you the bubbles. Did you go with us?
Was it Sunrise? I'm thinking about. Oh yeah,
yeah, on the backside behind where the Home Depot.
We were talking about it when we went to that Mexican place, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You pass it, you're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And it's like that was a whole thing. We would go to the hookah bar, we would go to the hookah bar first, then we'd end up at the club, and then we end up at Deja Vu at the end of the night, and then we go home. And that was the loop. We just did the loop, and it was just like, oh, let's get passion fruit hookah.
Yeah,
I want 2 or 3 bubbles. Bring the bubbles out. We blow bubbles all night long, and then go to the club and get fucking. That was when was it Empire was downtown? Remember when Empire was downtown?
Empire down on R.
Yeah, that's where Ace of Spades is now.
I know.
That's club. Remember, you go in like, what was it, like on Thursdays or Saturdays or something? They do bubble night. Remember all the foam and everything?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
God.
That was a wild time.
All right. Now,
T-Pain was at the top
there because it's what T-Pain's still at the top. I just have to toss this in there because I just saw like hip hop is all just fucking diss tracks right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love it. I feel like all of these like fucking shitty SoundCloud people that never deserved for anybody to know their name are now back at the butt because they're like, I'm not putting out shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking. I don't have it like that.
Yeah.
And like all the good rappers are coming to the top.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like Drake, but I'm glad that he kind of popped all this off. But talking about it, I've been watching like different things, like breaking down like the lyrics and stuff. And in one that was breaking down Drake's lyrics, it was just like B-roll of him like in his like mansion, like his obscene Toronto mansion, and like half of that B-roll was him with a hookah. Just, you know, he gets out of his pool, he sits, and like the entire time we're like, fuck like 30 years old, you're at a hookah bar. Drake living that life still. Now clearly Drake is living a life that's well beyond our means.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the fact that he's like, you know what? I'm a hookah.
I saw this I saw this thing pop. There must have been something going on with Drake recently because he's been popping up a lot, and I don't follow enough of it to like.
Oh, it's so good.
So I know that there's been some shit with like, I don't know where it all comes from, whatever. But I saw this thing on Reddit the other day. It was like, here's an old interview of Drake way back in the day. It was like, and Drake saying the hard R should be punishable. And I was like, what? I clicked on it and heard him say it. I was like, ooh, yeah. Ooh, dude.
Yeah. That was his first time saying it, I'm pretty sure.
That's exactly right. I was like, I don't do it. We should move away from that one, man. It was just so bad.
Dude, the last so all this like pops off. Him and Kendrick Lamar have been going back and forth for like a good decade now, but never like overtly saying each other's name. And then on First Person Shooter, like there was kind of like oh, this is clearly him. So then Kendrick responded, to which Drake responded, and then like all of a sudden everybody's just like, you know what? Like Chris Brown had the most like diabolical, like everybody was like, we unanimously agree you took it way too far with Quavo. Like it's just like, I'm telling you, it's like the best hip hop's been in a minute. But Drake called out Rick Ross for like being fat or something like that, and Rick Ross, like he had like a little song back, but then also all he kept doing was every day posting that clip of Drake saying hard R. He just posted every day for like a week and was just like, man, listen to this man. And this last one that Kendrick put out, like the last like 30% of the song is just about Drake saying hard R and how like you can't say that anymore. Like you lost your black card. Like, oh. Yeah, he took the N-word pass away from Drake. Oh man, we're not a hip hop podcast, but it is so good right now.
I miss the old school beefs in hip hop. You know what I mean?
Remember fucking 50 Cent and Ja Rule, how outrageous that got? 50 Cent and Kanye.
Didn't 50 Cent at one point buy like all of Ja Rule's front row tickets or whatever? And he's like, no one ever went. So it's just like 4 or 5 rows of just empty seats.
500 seats. Yeah. In the very front of your concert. Oh, it's beautiful. I miss shit like that.
Yeah. I remember when diss tracks were really big. And it was like, Eminem did a lot of the diss tracks, and I always thought that it was just so fun to watch.
Eminem was too good at it, though.
I know.
He's
scary.
He did it so bad that people are like, all right, we're going to agree. We don't attack him anymore, right?
And everyone just pops out of somewhere, and someone will say some shit, and then he'll go at it, and everybody's like, oh, my bad.
So, yeah. It'll be like a guy coming drunk out of the club. They're like, hey, how was your night? He's like, I don't know why they played Eminem song. And I was like, the fuck did you just say?
You're grabbing the phone. Give me the phone. Give me the phone. No, it's live. It's live. God damn it. Call the PR team now. Fucking standing up at a podium like he's goddamn president. I want to apologize.
Yeah. I just imagine like a record label coming, like PR team coming to them, and them just like taking off their shirts and just Japanese ritual suicide all around the table. Rather than dealing with this shit.
Oh, man. Oh, it makes me laugh.
I love it. Because rap was so much better back in our day.
I agree with that.
They're bringing a little taste of that back.
I definitely think that the thing about rap that I can't stand listening to new age rap. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's not hard. It's not real or anything like that. It's just like, I just don't like the flow,
all
the
the
sound.
same.
It just, everything is. I mean, you could even say that for during the hyphy movement. Everybody started to sound the same during the hyphy movement. There's a very select group of people that obviously you were like, yeah, you're wildly different. But for them,
nobody was the same as Trax a Million. Nobody was the same as Keek the Sneak. Nobody was the same as Mr. Fab.
Nope.
Like,
no.
E40 the people that
fucking
took it there,
mm-hmm.
took it there and kept it there. But it's like everything that comes along with it. Like, yeah, there's going to be emulators
sure,
of the style.
Of course.
And that's
what happened. I mean,
some could argue that hyphy never dies. Shout out Corey Rose. But
I mean, and
obviously,
and I respect the shit. I think the downhill slide was when, you know, Pac came out and kind of took like hyphy in that movement, and then it was like when they did like what was the New Kids or whatever the fuck they were called that did Jerk, and like the whole Jerk scene, I feel like is where the slide.
That's a fucking offshoot.
But I think that's where the slide in
they came from it. And they went mainstream.
Yep.
And the big mainstreams killed it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, but I love Keek. I've always loved Keek. I mean, he's always been one of my favorite. But if you go and listen to Keek music, it is all the fucking same song.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's 500 tracks of the same fucking song.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm okay with that.
I am too. But it always sounds like Keek. Keek always sounds like Keek, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what you go for, right? You're telling me you want Kanye to keep trying to be new? No, I want you to take a time machine back.
Go back. Give me Homecoming.
Give me College Dropout again.
Give me College Dropout. Give me Homecoming. Fucking, oh God.
Please stop trying to innovate. This fucking.
What was that Love album that he put out? Love Breakdown or whatever the fuck it was called.
808s and Heartbreaks.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that was the end of Kanye. That was the end of Kanye West. I still listen to Graduation like probably once a month.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a good fucking album.
Who was on Graduation? T-Pain.
Yeah. I mean, that was a time. I mean, a bunch of people. Man, T-Pain is on tour right now.
T-Pain's having Wisconsin Fest right now.
I know.
God, I love T-Pain. I can't get over it.
I love it. I've been watching, so like I follow him on Instagram and stuff like that, and like I watch, you know, obviously from his Twitch and a bunch of other things or whatever. But I've been watching some of the shows. I'm like, God damn, that'd be so much fun to go to a T-Pain show. It's just, it looks so. He's like our age, man.
I know. It's annoying how successful he is. But like in the best way.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this guy is on like Shaq level of side quests right now. Like he's he's our age and he's already like inducted into like the Hall of Fame and stuff like that. He's like, oh shit. And like fucking like people are like, can you please cut like Jelly Roll? Like I guess met him at like the iHeart Music Awards. He's like, you need to come. Like my biggest concerts in Nashville. I'd love for you to come out and do like a surprise appearance. Yeah, comes in, he's dressed up in a fucking cowboy hat and shit. People are walking by, they're like, holy shit, is that T-Pain?
And he runs out on stage and the cowboy hat takes off.
Yeah.
And he was like,
dude,
right after the show, he's like,
it.
I had that hat on for like 5 seconds. He's like, yeah, it looked good, but it was gone instantly.
I mean, he's doing country shows. I mean, I knew it was always like cars were a passion of his, but like the fact that he's like into a big JDM fucking like drift scene, like there's just so many like weird aspects of this guy's life that are so insanely successful. I fucking love it.
It's cool. It's cool to see the old stuff still growing with us in a way. Like we haven't left it. That doesn't become nostalgia where like stuff like T-Pain, like I don't think is nostalgia. I think it's like, it's in the moment still. Like, it's not like,
I'm still carrying that.
Yeah, T-Pain was better back in the day. T-Pain is just as good today. You know what I mean? When you look at like certain aspects of like even movies, video games, rap, you know, just music in general, like another whiff.
Yeah. Dude, I'm pretty sure she's sitting on my face right now.
But like I was telling you, I listened to Kid Rock's first album. Careful.
Keep going.
Careful.
Keep going.
You don't want the granny farts, man. Those things will clear a house.
How old is she? You're welcome.
Dry.
Just cough baby powder.
But I listened to Kid Rock's first album, and I don't know how
you said you're like, I forget what a piece of shit he was. Nobody should.
No, not a piece of shit.
Just Detroit straight Joe Exotic.
Yeah,
like that's all he is. He just happened to get famous.
Well, it's like I pulled up the album. And like the album cover from not his first album, but the one from what was it, 98 or 93 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, the one where he's all in red tint.
Yeah, red tint and everything.
Devil something.
Yeah, he's got like fucking braids and like bead braids and like fucking like almost cornrowed, no fucking goatee or anything like that. Yeah. I was like,
and just methadone skinny.
Yeah, dude. And I was like,
yeah,
I forgot that was the look. And then I started listening to the album and I was like, God, this music is awful, man. It's so bad.
It's so good.
It is. It's fucking catchy. I hadn't listened to it in forever. I knew every lyric of Cowboy. I don't know why.
Dude, we used to, like, Friday nights before, like, sober Tarkov, me and Rye, we would just be in Discord before we'd start any raids, and we would just watch Woodstock 99, Kid Rock's performance of Ba with the Ba to get us fucking juice. He'd be fucking, it's so bad. He goes around, he takes over like his drummer's drums, then he takes the guitar from his guitarist, he plays all the solos before he even gets to his own fucking song. Oh, dude, Kid Rock. Fuck.
Oh, man. I don't know. I tried listening to some of his newer stuff, and it's like, all right. It is what it is.
If I go to Bon Jovi and he starts trying to play me some new shit before he does Living on a Prayer, I'm throwing my shoes at him.
Yeah, but that's a problem. Oh God, that's a problem with going to see concerts nowadays too. It's like, well, this is like an older song that everybody loves, and then we're gonna do like fucking 10 songs off of our newer shit. And then
they're trying to push, gets no place.
And then they do like
17 billion streams on your go-to song on Spotify, and you're trying to give me something that you just cooked up at 67 years old. So get the fuck out of here.
When I saw Rush, because I've seen Rush a bunch of times live, right? And I remember, don't oof me.
I'm real worried about what you're gonna.
No, it was really a cool idea. So Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, was like, one of the things, like, all of our fans are always asking us, like, why don't you ever play this song? Why don't you ever play this song? This song was huge. This song was amazing. Why don't you ever play this one? And he was like, here's the real honest answer. We've been doing this music since the late 70s, early 80s. Sometimes when we get up and like, we're like, hey, let's do a tour and we'll look at all this stuff, like, we've forgotten how to play that music. We've forgotten the chords. We've forgotten how to do that song. He's like, it's easier with newer stuff, and like, because it's relatively fresh in our heads, or we can listen back and be like, technically I can understand how that works. But then when you go back and listen to older songs that were recorded differently or on 8 tracks and shit like that, and you try and listen, and it's been remastered, so it's been edited a little bit to sound better, so you can listen to it in high quality. It's like when we listen to it, we're like, I don't fucking know how we did that. And then so he's like, well, those are just songs that we have to just put on the back burner and be like, we can't ever play those live because we don't know how to do them. And it's like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I just
realized that Rush is the Lil Wayne of our parents' generation. Like, do you remember when you said this in this song?
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's like, what?
Yeah.
That's just Rush saying, we did a lot of drugs when we wrote those. There's not a chance in hell we're ever going to remember how to play them.
Lil Wayne was talking to Eminem. He was like, if you go to my phone and you type in L, everything that pops up is Lil Wayne lyrics or whatever. And like Eminem was like, I do that shit all the time. I'm like, did I say this already? Why does it sound so dope already? Like,
oh man,
that's fucking funny. Which also makes it hard to probably make new music, right? Because like, how do you
bet.
Although I will tell you, there is one band that continues to surprise me every time they put out a new album. It's AFI.
Thank God. If you said Pearl Jam, I was gonna fucking kick my computer. Like, my name is Jinxie.
It's just fucking everything.
The foot that comes up like by his head. Looking like some One Piece anime.
No, fucking AFI. So AFI, AFI started as a punk band back in the day.
I'm gonna be honest, I had no clue they were still making music.
Yeah. I think I took Cliff to go see AFI. I think it was me, Cliff. I think Sean came with us too. I'm most positive it was Sean as well. We went to go see AFI. They come through, they go to Oakland all the time. So like every time they do a new like tour or whatever, they're in Oakland. So it's like every time I will go and fucking see them in Oakland. I love seeing AFI live. They're so good. The last time we saw them, it was either the last time or the time before. At one point, Havoc is on stage like singing into the mic, and you can't hear Havoc at all because the crowd. It was a sold out show, packed to the brim in Fox Theater. And Havoc is screaming and you can't hear him because the crowd is singing so fucking loud. And Havoc realizes that no one can hear him. And so he just puts the mic down and the whole crowd ends up singing the rest of the song. And I was like, that's the dopest shit ever. It's such a good experience. Every time I see AFI, they fucking kill it. But AFI, every fucking album is like a different album. They do like a span of generations. They did like their punk music. Then they did the alternative. Then they did like the emo stuff. Then they went and did like back into like alternative. Then they had an album that was kind of a little bit harder and felt like Black Sails again. And then it was just like this transitional thing that every time you hear it, it's a different sound. And so every time they put out an album, the fans are always like, oh, this is shit, your last album was better or whatever. And like it's a constant among the whole group of people that love AFI. Is like nobody hates AFI like AFI fans.
I also have to imagine that going to an AFI concert is the safest a white person can be in Oakland. Like I have to imagine like just looking at like a crowd of AFI people, like that would be the one that like, no, we're not fucking with them.
I mean, Audrey's window got broken out because we parked in downtown Oakland.
Okay, but that's
in Oakland. That's not you. Inside. Oh yeah.
I just want to imagine like a typical like Oakland resident seeing like, and I'm picturing like 2006 AFI fans. So I'm picturing like the hair like this, but like that's hell no. I'm not. Nope. Not that kind of white.
Yeah. Give me your money. Like I've got nothing but blood on my arm.
Yeah. So you reach it out and just cuts. Oh, fuck.
It is also wild when you go and see like my bands, the stuff that I like watched in high school. I go see like, when I don't. They don't. Most of them don't exist anymore. But like Cheetos or fucking. Fall of Troy and all these bands that like
Cheetos still does, yeah.
No, they're done. I mean, Craig Owens is on his own fucking wherever he's at now. But but like when we were going to remember what was the spot Boardwalk in Orangevale?
Yeah.
It was
Boardwalk seemed bigger back in the day.
It seemed huge. It seemed massive. I remember the parking lot. I was like, yeah, it's a dirt road or whatever, but like it was like a big fucking place and a huge spot. And you go in. I went to the Boardwalk,
like a max capacity of like 120.
Yeah, I think
somehow they packed 400 in there though.
Holy shit! I dove off of a stage and crowd surfed in Boardwalk. I don't know how. The ceiling's not any higher than 7 feet. Like
I know. It's just like a regular bar now that sometimes shows. Shows.
It's a wild experience to check.
I've been in there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. But I remember that was like high school. A show was like $10 or whatever, and like all of these unknowns back in the day. Like we saw Job for a Cowboy there before they got big. Number 12 looks like you. I mean, the list was endless, and then that was what ended up happening when we went to go see All American Rejects. Is when we went to go see it, it was like, oh, this is fucking surreal that all the people that are here are like the age that I am, but like it's all the adults, and it was all the children that we went to go see these shows with, but now they're all the adults. Same thing with AFI. Standing in line, and you're standing in line, you're like, oh man, I'm really excited to see this. I'll have to play some shit off of Sing the Sorrow, blah, blah, blah. And you're looking around, and then you realize that there's just like children. You know what I mean? And they're probably like 18 or whatever, but they're still children. And you're looking at it and you're like, that was me. I was that, And I'm like, the first thing in my head is like, what the fuck do you know about AFI? You know what I mean? You haven't been around long enough to know anything about AFI. How did you hear of this? Where's your parents? Did your dad turn you on to this? You know what I mean?
I think I scanned a 12-year-old. it was like a 12-year-old girl who was like going through like her like goth punk phase, I guess, in school, and she was wearing a My Chemical Romance shirt. And as I was putting her in the scanner, I was like, you know, they came out when I was in high school, and she was like, whatever. I was like, I thought I had something like that we could connect. I was like, you know, when they were first starting, I was listening to them.
I saw a post. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it was parody or whatever, but some person was like on their phone or whatever doing this thing. It's like, did you know the clothing band Nirvana is actually a band? I'm like,
fucking throw my phone reading some shit like that.
She's like, oh my god, and the lead singer committed suicide. Like, oh, it's like, what the fuck is happening in the world, man? I'm so mad. Oh, the clothing band Nirvana.
That's so gross.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty. Should we talk about games? Hey, so okay, how was it? You played?
I'm still thinking about the clothing brand Nirvana. Yeah. I blame fucking Target.
I was gonna say it's Walmart and Target. Those are the two fucking idiots that have caused this generational gap.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Gray Zone.
Did you like
Gray Zone? Yeah,
it was fun.
No, it's good. It's fun. See,
this might
there's something.
Go ahead. Sorry.
There's something special about a game when it's so early on, and VoIP is enabled.
Yeah,
and I said the same thing about Dead Drop, it being like fucking super alpha. It's come so far since then, but like, I think the reason, like, the game itself was okay when I was playing Dead Drop, but it was like everybody was talking, and Dead Drop's all open comms the entire time, so there's no turning that off. But like in Gray Zone, for instance, like I walked in, I was like, which one? Because the buttons aren't the same as Tarkov, so I'm like going around pushing buttons. I'm like, hello, and like eventually somebody's all hello, and I was like, oh shit, oh I found VoIP, thanks, and then like we just started like bullshitting and talking, and it's like stuff like that. And every single person, like, you get like the helicopters come in, people come off. I'm like, welcome back, soldier, and they're like, thanks, Sarge, and like everybody's talking to each other. Yeah. Everybody's going. There are like lags.
Sure.
I wouldn't even say like huge lags, but there's definitely like
server instability,
some hiccups. Yeah. Somebody immediately warned me. They're like, hey, if you disconnect out there, like, it counts as a death, and you come back here. And there was like teams of people that were like actively like, they're like, all right, like, where were you? And you'll know because you go all based off like your longitude and latitude for like your missions and shit.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, we'll take you. And there's like teams of like 2 that would go with people to get their shit back. But like, when the game is in such like an infantile stage that everybody's kind of learning the game together, that they're doing that, and there's that like huge open comms that you don't see when people get in later.
Yeah,
it's just cool.
No, I agree. That's that build a community type of phase. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's really an interesting point of having people like-minded having fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Enjoying things. It's not filled with the assholes yet. You know.
Yeah, you know it's coming, and also, you know that camaraderie is going to go away eventually.
Also, I was thinking about this, like, what a perfect time for this game to come out. Not because of the whole like debacle with Tarkov, but because how many of those pieces of shit that bought the Unheard edition were also like, well, I'm not going to spend $90 again for Gray Zone, so it just keeps them out of the the gene pool.
Yeah, touche. The game itself, it's definitely not Tarkov.
Yeah.
Like it is. Like, it has some like shared mechanics, but just the fact that like the persistent world aspect of it, where like there's people, there's like shots going on everywhere and stuff like that. Like, you hear fighting going, and you gotta check your map often to make sure that, because like if you kill somebody from your own faction, they can report you, and can get you like kicked for team killing, basically. So like there's a lot of times like you see somebody and you're a lot more hesitant. You're checking your map to be like, oh, he is on my team, and if not, you fucking chase him down. The AI, even in like the starting zone, can be pretty like, there's some wild indiscrepancies. Like sometimes
they talked about that, where it's like, I guess
I've gone click, like, oh, out of ammo, and like done a reload, but like my guy is so slow that I'm like,
yeah,
like I make it away. And then there's times where like I'm just like sprinting through a street, like just from like alleyway to alleyway, and I just get fucking dope.
They they talked about this a little bit. Some people were figuring it out, and I guess the devs kind of figured out what's happening. I guess some of the vital organ stuff is too big or too small for certain hitbox areas. And so because of that right now, people, like even the community was saying, is like, there's no point in wearing a helmet because a tap to the head is a tap to the head, whether you're wearing a helmet or not.
I don't know. I got tapped to the head and I lived through it.
But you would you?
But I got shot in my fucking shoulder 3 times.
Died.
One bullet and just dead.
Yeah. So there is some like wild discrepancies that they got to figure out. Which is, I mean, it's okay. It's still new enough that
it's been out for 1 week. I think is what everybody needs to realize.
Yeah. And I'm okay.
And on their Steam page, I believe it's still up. But like when it first went out, they were like, buy this at your own. Like, we're not telling you to buy this. We're making it available so that we have more feedback. But this has a long way to go. Like, they have a thing saying, which is also wild that everybody was like, oh my God, my toaster can't run this. Like,
I think there are some points of like realizing now, even with early access, because early access is becoming such a staple of like gaming nowadays, especially when it comes to Steam, everything is in fucking, it is the norm. So now that we're getting to that point of norm, people I think are forgetting
that it's what early access really is.
Yeah. And it sucks because
if you don't like it, go to fucking console. Be one of those fucking plebes that's got to wait 3 years for your fucking game.
Yes and no, but I also think it's one of those things where it's like we got to stop buying into early access until shit is ready. Like if they're going to put it out there and like you want to spend the money, that's totally fine. It's your money. Do whatever you want with it. But if you're not comfortable with it and you know it's going to be a sack of turds, then fucking sit on it and wait. But like people that buy it day one and then write negative reviews because it's not ready to go and it's an early access game, it's just like you're doing it for either clout or fucking what, or you're
go fuck yourself.
You know what I mean?
Didn't get enough attention as a kid.
Yeah. I
did it willingly knowing it's a fucking gamble.
Exactly. I know that I'm going to be buying a lemon up front. It's one of those things also too. I wonder how much of those negative reviews were also Tarkov people that were just
Tarkov bots
or just people jaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They bought the fucking $35 edition that was refundable, wrote a negative review and turned it back.
It's so different than Tarkov. Like it isn't. Okay. It's in that like weird gray zone. Thank you. It isn't Tarkov because like how you interact with the world is so wildly different. Obviously the settings are different. God damn though, I'll be damned if like I was playing it, I was like, oh, there's therapist, there's prepper, there's mechanic, like for their traders, even like the starting quest, like therapist or whatever the fuck her name, lab rat. Her first quest is go find medical supplies and bring it back to her. Like even the quests are like real Tarkov-y, but like the core mechanics and how you play the game is so different.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are already like up in arms that like there's like creators that are like, man, I don't expect this game to last long if you don't fucking bump the PvP aspect of it. Like, what do we have to play the game for after we start doing quests? And the devs are like, then this isn't the game for you.
Yeah. Which
like, we're not doing an emphasis on this.
I fucking love that. I love the idea of just making it like, yes, there can be PvP, but for the most part, this is a PvE centered game. Like it's in a world with restrictions and possible losing your loot to other PMCs. But like even right now, you can't loot other PMCs.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can? Okay, because you couldn't before.
Yeah, you can loot other PMCs. You could loot everything.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, if that's the case,
if your buddy goes down, you can run over and grab his shit.
Well, you can revive in this game too.
Like I came in on a helo and I just saw piles of bodies where the helo is. I was like, God damn it. Yeah. I'm just waiting to get fucking extract camped.
Yeah.
And like I like kind of like was running and jumping. And then after a little bit, I was like, I don't think anybody's here anymore. And I like went over and grabbed some guns. I was like, sick.
I'm excited. I'm actually, the more I've been watching it, the more I've been looking at it, I'm thinking too, I'm like, how fun is it to be ground floor? Like they don't have thumb loading mags in right now. So it's like really easy to reload your shit.
That's really easy.
You know what I mean? Like it's a good time to get in and kind of get like ground floored on it. I just also know, because I'm buying a lemon with all the problems, I'm just like, do I really want to waste my fucking time knowing that it's going to change and it's going to be different like up front? It's like, and if that's the case, I don't mind playing a game where it is just PvP center. I may not even focus on missions. I may just go in and
even with the stutter, just running around, and like the AI just like constantly talks shit to you. They're like, "Come on, buddy, it was a misunderstanding. I didn't mean that. Come here." And then after a while, all right, enough. Where the fuck are you? Like they get pissed off and shit. Like, it's fun. And for anybody bitching about like their computer not handling it, like your first helicopter ride over, you'll 100% understand. It's a whole persistent world.
Yeah.
There's just ferns and shit everywhere that you have to see through. So they're all individual assets. And like just flying through like the palm trees and all this, just looking at everything, you're like, fuck, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it's running off of Unreal 5. So like you're gonna have a good computer to run it. Even people are saying like, even right now, like putting on medium resolution with like a upgraded computer, nothing crazy, but you know, upgraded, you're probably going to be okay.
Mine by today's standards is not that crazy, right? And I was running it, I was having hiccups when I was on whatever the highest was, like extreme or whatever. I just turned it down to high, and I had maybe a couple stutters here and there.
And I think a lot of the stutters even still are like just server-based stuff. I know that they're running into
could 100% be, you know, it was just like me vaulting a wall, and all of a sudden, like I'd be like up on top of the wall and then down where I was supposed to.
Yeah, that's just a rubber band. Yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's the case too, that's the worst that happens. Again, the shitty point is it's like with any extraction shooter, it's like when you die, you lose your shit. That can be what can infuriate so many people. Like if I'm dying to stupid fucking server shit, right? I paid money. I'm dying to stupid server shit, or I'm dying to fucking rats. Those are the two things that would piss me off the most. You know what I mean? And if it's not that, and I'm just dying to the game, well, then it's just the game. That's the genre that I'm playing. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe we jump into it after this. Maybe we give it a full shakedown. We got something new to play.
It's fun.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with fun. I'm okay with fun. That's fine with me. If it was
I
like,
came into it not expecting a lot.
Oh, it's a shit game, but it could be cool with friends. If it's just like, no, it's a fun game, and it'd probably be just as fun with friends. Okay, yeah, I'm all right with that. You know, but it is. I mean, there's a price tag to it. There is a, you know, obviously
it's not a negligible price tag. That's for sure.
Yeah, because realistically, it's the same thing like Tarkov. Yeah, you can buy it for $35, but you're gonna spend $100 like for stash size and like container size. You know what I mean? You're going to end up spending $100. I mean, I wonder how far you could potentially get without spending that amount of money.
I did all of my missions before realizing that I hadn't even accepted all of the stuff. Like, cause you buy the regular edition, and then they make you purchase like the supporter edition or whatever, if you want it. I was like, oh fuck, that's it. All right, whatever. Like, cool. Went out, did my thing, came back, and I was turning in my second set of missions. And I was like, oh, messages. And then just all of a sudden I had a bunch of shit. Stuff. I all of a sudden have like the 3x3 secure container.
Got you. Yeah.
So it's, for what you take out into raid, it's not that bad.
Yeah. And it definitely seems like it's not.
Is it a little pay to win? Yeah.
100%. There's no getting around it. It's the same issue with fucking with Tarkov was
EOD and all that.
When you pay, when you are hamstrung by and you realize that after playing single player Tarkov for so long, you are really hamstrung by size. Like your container size is the hardest thing until you get to the point where you have a ton of cases where you're just stashing things in cases. Like your inventory size is the hardest thing to deal with because it makes you neglect things. Well, I just don't have room for this, so I'm going to leave it. What
am I focusing on? Hideouts, missions,
exactly. Which is which is okay. That's totally okay. But then when you find out you have like 2 or 3 things happening at the same time that require those 2 different, it's like, fuck. And then it just prolongs time. as long like Tarkov has a way that will allow you to upgrade your stash, and you can buy, I don't think you can buy the gamma container, but you can at least get the whatever the other one was. You get alpha and then beta containers. You can get
get the gamma.
Can you get the gamma? Okay, so I mean,
eventually
you
have to unlock it. You have to unlock it from a quest, and you end up having to I think do like a barter for it.
Okay,
like it doesn't make it like easy to get.
Right. And then there's
it does give you the option eventually to unlock.
And no one can buy Kappa. You can only earn Kappa through the missions, which is cool, and that's a really cool aspect. And then your hideout also has an ability for you to level up and stuff like that. Does it inflate game time? Yes, absolutely. But is there an option for you to do it without money? Yes, Tarkov does have that. I don't think that there's an option for that in this game
that we know of yet.
They probably have not implemented it, but as of now,
like I said, if you go to look up even mission, there's no wiki for this,
which is cool. Nothing. I'm loving it. I'm loving just fucking learning it.
Like I didn't know where my missions were. I was like, hey, some guy just got off a helicopter. Hey, do you know what grid I'm looking for, lost and found? And he's all, I'm not going to tell you where exactly, but go to, I think he's 171, 119. The rest is up to you. Good luck. And he just took off. I was like, all right,
that's fucking dope. So I just fucking took off that. I love that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, fucking let's wrap it up. Let's do this then. Let's go play Gray Zone. Let's go make a movie.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have an awesome week. Thank you for listening to us talk about shitting, talking about how cool strip clubs are, and talking about rap music.
Yeah, we're out of here. All right. Bye-bye.